Happy Easter, and welcome to the Vodcast. That's right, that's going to be the title of the Road to 40 after I turn 40. V-O-D-K-A-S-T. Vodcast. Why? Take a guess. Because I like vodka. I like it when you put milk and Kahlua in it, mix it together, stir it, and drink it. I'm coming to you this morning on this fine 4/20 Easter morning. Well, I guess I don't really have to apologize. I had recorded some stuff last night that I may have had a little too much to drink and just was not Road to 40 worthy. I watched it this morning, and a good portion of it wasn't terrible, but it was bad enough that I was not going to put it out on the interwebs. Maybe in the future, after this is all said and done, I might throw it up there for fun, but there was some interesting videos last night. And I couldn't find my notes, which I usually keep in my pocket all day as I think about things I want to talk about. I write it down. Usually when I'm driving, I have to be like, trying to get it down. And I know there's probably, I could just email myself from my phone. I could just be like, hey, use my voice to text and not risk my life. But for some reason, I just can't. I'm pretty tech savvy. Like, I know technology pretty well. I know the ins and outs of things, and I know how to build things like computers and make them work and tweak them and overclock them. I know about all this. But when it comes to notes, I still prefer traditional pen and paper with a note in my pocket. And, yeah, Vodcast, had to write that one down because that's perfect. Unfortunately, Vodkast.com, thevodcast.com are both taken, so I don't know what I want to do. Like, I guess it could be thevodcaster.com. I don't know. I need some way to phrase it so that it's really stands out and it's original and it makes sense and it's not stupid. We're going with mostly natural lighting today, too. I've got the windows kind of, well, not open, but I've got the shades pulled back and the curtains are drawn. It's a nice Easter morning. I hope the Easter Bunny was good to all of you. I want to talk about two things just briefly this morning because I don't have a lot of time. I just didn't want to not put something up today. So the first thing I want to talk about, I was listening to NPR yesterday, and geez, I forgot his name. Junior Senator Flake from Arizona was on. He's a Republican, but he was on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR, and it was awesome to see that hear that interaction, like where it had nothing to do with politics. It was just this guy on the show and having fun. And he apparently is a survivalist. He went out to an island, a tropical island, and stranded himself for a week just to see if he could do it. He only brought a magnifying glass and a spear. And he did it. He said he was marking hermit crabs off. He brought a Sharpie. Somebody had given him a Sharpie before he got off the boat or whatever. And he started writing the numbers on the back of them, and over the course of, I think he said 4 days, because the first 3 days he didn't do it. By the 7th day he had marked 129 of these crabs. So he says he really missed number 72 a lot too. I just respect that. Like, that's cool. Like, it's cool that he can come on the show and they can joke around about politics without it getting too serious. And I think that's the key to bridging all these differences we have. Certainly we're never going to agree on everything. However, make a joke about it at least. Don't take it so serious. You know what? Just because I might agree or I might believe in certain things that you don't agree with, it doesn't make either of us right or wrong. And there's no sense in fighting over it because I'm probably not going to change your mind. You're not going to change my mind on most things. So just enjoy life and let's kid around and whatever. You know what? Let's leave the politics to politicians. Because, really, what are we doing? When we fight, you, whoever you may be, as a right-wing Republican, and I am a left-wing liberal, why are we fighting? What are we changing by fighting? Nothing. Nothing. It's dumb, and we're just creating animosity and division amongst the people of the United States. Not not to say that it isn't driven by politicians and media, but maybe it's time to stop watching the news, you know? Let's find a new source, a reliable and good source just to get our news. I'll stop watching my channels, you stop watching your channels, and we'll get together once a day and we'll just discuss the news. Yeah, alright. Agreed, indeed. I want to talk about coincidence. That's my main topic today. Do you believe in coincidence? Fate versus free will? There's been a lot of times in my life. I want to tell you about one specific incident where I don't think it was coincidence. And I don't believe in fate. I believe in free will. I don't think there is ultimately... I don't think anybody controls your destiny. I think you are fully in control of what you do every second of every day. And I don't think anything is predestined. I don't think that there is a road laid out before you. I believe you make those decisions on a daily basis, and you get to where you're going under your own power. That says nothing about a higher form of life or a god or anything like that. I thought he was married. Okay, well, this story starts out about 92, 93. It had to have been 93 because I had a car. For several Saturdays in a row, about the same time, around like 9 o'clock in the morning, sometimes a little earlier, I would get prank phone calls from the same... It was these two girls that were at like an insurance company, or their dad owned the business and he would go into work, and these two girls, I can't remember her name, and that's why I'm kind of looking over here on Facebook. I feel terrible about that. Well, I mean, I haven't had contact with either of these two individuals in years, so it's not that big a deal. My point being is, I started getting these phone calls, and they became regular, and it was dumb at first, and then it just got to the point where we just started talking. And eventually, I don't know how it happened, but I ended up hanging out. I think me, and if I'm not mistaken, it was either Jim Bassett or Mike Bassett or Corey. We went to go hang out with them. And so we got to meet them, we were hanging out, and at the time I think I was like dating somebody else or something like that. But I kind of, and this is going to sound terrible, but I asked my friend Mike, to intercede here so that I didn't have to. Well, that happened. And now they, as far as I know, well, it still says engaged on his site, on his Facebook page, but as far as I know, they're married with children now. Like, how insane is it that I got these random phone calls, I didn't know these people, just pranks. I meet these people, I introduce them to someone else, and they end up getting married. Like, there's a lot of things that have to happen there for you to get from point A to point B. And it's pretty amazing that it happens. Like, is that coincidence? Is it just chance? Or am I wrong? Is there a path laid out before every man, woman, and child? I don't want to believe that there is. I don't. I want to believe that I am in full control of every decision I make, and that nothing is predetermined. Charles Dacey, my sophomore or junior year English teacher, he taught me all about, well, you learn it in school, fate and free will. And I did terrible in that class, but he taught me some very valuable life lessons that I kind of set me down a road that I may not have gone down if it hadn't been for him. So I have to give a lot of credit to him. He was a good teacher, and though I didn't do very well in his class, I took a lot away from it. So if you're out there listening, Mr. Charles Dacey, thank you a lot. Shoot. Charles Dacey, Easter Bunny, Vodkasting, coincidence, the Senator. I thought I had something else I kind of wanted to discuss. I guess I did want to talk a little bit more. I didn't intend on getting this deep into the whole fate versus free will, but that's always been something that just interests me. Like, not knowing for sure, you know, is this all just an act of play? You know what I mean? Is everything just kind of written out, or is every possibility written out? How many millions and trillions and gazillion Googles of possibilities are there? I think about this sometimes, and I think about, well, if I'm doing this right now the way I'm doing it, is it happening in a parallel universe the exact same way, but one hair is a millionth of an inch off? Like, could you imagine all the possible just for one individual? You're not talking about the grains of sand flowing around in the, you know, on the beaches, or like, I mean, I guess it's too vast to fathom. Like, your brain just can't. I mean, you can imagine it, but like, I don't know. I guess that would be alright. If there is fate, if we are fated to end up at one end that is predetermined, but there is trillions of possibilities, you know what I mean, then I guess really it doesn't matter at that point, because any decision you make is going to lead you down your own road. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I'd like to get some opinions on that. The dog is scratching at the door, and it is Easter morning, so I'm not going to take up any more of your time or my time. I just wanted to put something out there this morning and wish you guys a happy Easter. Ken Wood, I want to thank you for subscribing to the channel. Really excited just to see that number going up. Knowing that I'm reaching people and hopefully making people smile, because that's what I'm all about. Bringing the smiles to your faces. And funny places. Wait. I didn't mean that. So yeah, if you know somebody that might be interested in this, share it with them on the Facebook, on the Twitters, on the MySpaces, on the GeoCity sites, on the Angel Fire sites. Remember all that stuff? Anywho, go have a great Easter, and I'm sure you're making people smile today. But if not, just remember, you know, be happy, make other people smile, and let's make the world spin a little happier together, because that's how I roll. Happy Easter, everybody, and I will be back tonight with some good stuff to talk about, some very good stuff to talk about. I want to talk about my secret project tonight, and I want to talk about a few other things. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I just want to let you know I'll give you a progress report. And so you guys have a good day, and I will catch you later on. Peace.